how would you save a city that is sinking into the sea? Indonesia's former capital, Jakarta, is rapidly sinking into the ocean. North Jakarta has sunk 2.5 meters in just 10 years, and some areas continue to sink by up to 25 centimeters per year. On average, Jakarta is sinking between 1 and 15 centimeters annually, and nearly half of the city is already below sea level. If this trend continues, by 2050, 1/3 of the city will be underwater. Yes, former capital, because due to Jakarta's sinking problem, on August 17, 2024, the capital was officially relocated from Jakarta on Java Island to Nusantara on Borneo Island. However, if your city has a population of 11 million, simply moving the capital 800 miles away is not enough. This is where the Giant Seawall project comes into play, a $40 billion initiative designed to protect the city from being submerged. But before we dive into the details of this massive project and the $33 billion smart city planned for the new capital, let's first understand how Jakarta reached this critical point. One of the main reasons for Jakarta's sinking is excessive groundwater extraction. The city's infrastructure was not designed to accommodate its explosive growth, leading to an inadequate piped water supply. Experts say water management authorities can only meet 40% of Jakarta's water demand. Due to the lack of a proper clean water infrastructure, industries, businesses, and households rely on their own groundwater wells. The constant extraction of water causes the soil to compact and collapse. Beyond that, rising sea levels due to climate change are worsening the problem. As Jakarta is a coastal city along the Java Sea, it is directly impacted by these rising waters. Coastal areas in particular are under constant threat of flooding due to both the rising sea level and sinking ground. The city's geological structure also plays a crucial role in this crisis. Jakarta is built on an alluvial delta, which naturally has loose and water-saturated soil. The heavy buildings and infrastructure constructed on this type of ground cause it to compress further. Moreover, uncontrolled urbanization, illegal constructions, and unplanned developments exceed the soil's carrying capacity, accelerating the sinking process. Jakarta has a tropical monsoon climate with high temperatures and heavy rainfall throughout the year. The city is intersected by 13 rivers, which frequently cause floods during intense rainfall. More than 100 flood events are reported in Jakarta annually, primarily caused by heavy rains, inadequate drainage systems, and rising sea levels. Major floods can paralyze transportation and infrastructure in the city center. In theory, heavy rains should replenish the groundwater layers and support Jakarta's foundations. However, urban sprawl and underdeveloped sewage systems have created a concrete barrier that prevents water from being absorbed back into the ground. Given all these factors, experts warn that Jakarta has until 2030 to find a solution. Otherwise, it may be too late to hold back the Java Sea. What is Indonesia doing to save Jakarta? In response to Jakarta's sinking and environmental challenges, the Indonesian government decided to relocate the capital to Nusantara on Borneo Island, officially making the transition on August 17, 2024. However, the full transfer of government operations has not yet taken place. According to the initial plan, the construction of the new capital Nusantara is expected to cost around $33 billion, with the 5-phase project set to be completed by 2045. Nusantara has been introduced as an eco-friendly city, focusing on renewable energy sources, smart city technologies, and green spaces. Digital solutions will be used for transportation, energy, water management, and security. The city will feature extensive green spaces, parks, and gardens. Moreover, aims to become a hub for finance, trade, and technology. The presidential palace of Nusantara, known as the Garuda Palace, is inspired by the mythical Garuda bird, symbolizing national unity and protection, just like the Giant Seawall project, which we will discuss shortly. Nusantara is designed to accommodate 2 million people, which is only about 1/5 of Jakarta's population. Considering the city's land area, this may seem low, but 70% of the city is planned to be preserved as green space to ensure environmental sustainability. This aligns with Indonesia's goal of achieving net zero carbon emissions and 100% renewable energy by 2060. Looking at the map, Nusantara is centrally located within Indonesia. It is also considered safer than Jakarta, as it is less prone to floods, earthquakes, and tsunamis. Jakarta plays a crucial role in Indonesia's economy. Java Island alone accounts for 60% of the national economy. However, Jakarta's overpopulation and associated problems have hindered the development of other regions. The new capital's proximity to both Java and other islands is expected to help distribute economic growth more evenly across the country. Borneo Island, situated between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, holds a strategic position. This enhances Indonesia's maritime control and could strengthen its influence in the regional power balance. Being located on key Asia-Pacific trade routes, Nusantara could turn Indonesia into a major international trade player. All of this looks great on paper, but is everything going as well as it seems? According to the Nusantara plan, the development of the capital is divided into 5 phases from 2022 to 2045. The first phase, scheduled for completion between 2022 and 2024, includes the construction of key infrastructure, such as the State Palace, the Parliament Building, strategic ministry offices, the core government area, and residential complexes for 500,000 civil servants and other residents. However, the initial construction phase, expected to be completed by 2024, faced significant delays. Although the government claims 80% of the work is done, issues in construction have caused setbacks. As a result, the planned Independence Day celebrations on August 17, 2024, were scaled down. Initially, 8,000 guests were expected to attend, but logistical limitations reduced this number to just 1,300. According to Reuters, essential infrastructure such as housing for state officials, airports, and roads are still under construction. The relocation of government employees has been postponed 3 times. In June, 2 top officials overseeing Nusantara resigned, shaking investor confidence in the project. Investor support is crucial since the Indonesian government has committed to funding only 20% of the $33 billion project, relying on domestic and foreign investments for the remaining 80%. So far, the government has spent $4.5 billion, while local investors have contributed $3.5 billion towards education, healthcare, and hospitality facilities. However, attracting foreign investment remains a challenge. Delays, uncertainty regarding return on investment, and unclear incentives have discouraged international investors. Meanwhile, Indonesia underwent a leadership change on October 20th, when former President Joko Widodo handed over power to newly elected President Prabowo Subianto. Analysts were uncertain whether Prabowo would continue Widodo's mega project, but the new president has pledged $3 billion in investments by 2029. The goal is to complete legislative and judicial buildings and supporting facilities, and to move the government to Nusantara by 2028. The first foreign investment for Nusantara was secured recently. Chinese real estate firm Delonix Group pledged $31.25 million for hotel and office development. The government hopes this deal will encourage other investors. Meanwhile, the largest investment so far is a $1.3 billion commitment from a consortium of Indonesian companies. Despite setbacks and delays, the Nusantara project is moving forward, with its success likely hinging on investor confidence. Let's return to the fate of Jakarta. To save the world's fastest sinking city, another controversial plan has been proposed: the giant seawall. In an effort to prevent Jakarta from sinking beneath the ocean, the government launched the Giant Seawall project in 2014, with plans for completion by 2027. This massive $40 billion initiative was designed by the Rotterdam-based architecture firm Kuiper Companions, in collaboration with a consortium of Indonesian and Dutch companies. The designs for the Great Garuda project resemble Dubai's artificial Palm Islands when viewed from above. Inspired by Garuda, the mythological bird from Hindu legend and the national symbol of Indonesia, the wall is planned to be 32 kilometers long and include large lagoons to buffer the flow of 13 rivers. Once completed, Jakarta Bay will be transformed into a water reservoir enclosed by the giant seawall, which is expected to become a new source of clean water for the entire city. More than just a seawall protecting Jakarta from rising tides, the project also envisions a vast new urban area. The top of the wall is to be transformed into a vibrant urban space. 17 artificial islands, covering approximately 4,000 hectares, will host airports, ports, residential and industrial zones, waste treatment facilities, and lush green areas, ultimately designed to house up to 600,000 people. However, although the project was supposed to be completed by 2027, it doesn't appear to be on track. So far, only about 1/3 of the project has been completed. Leadership changes, lack of investment, and political challenges have stalled progress for several years. While the project is intended to save Jakarta from sinking, not everyone agrees it will succeed. A large coalition of critics, including Indonesian scientists, environmental activists, and local residents, argue that the project is bizarre, unnecessary, and potentially catastrophic both environmentally and socially. One major concern is that enclosing the bay with a wall may turn it into a stagnant, septic lagoon of freshwater, since very little sewage treatment is currently conducted for the rivers flowing into the bay. This corporate effort to clean up Jakarta's coastline could actually worsen the situation. Beyond the debate, both the Nusantara and giant seawall projects carry serious social and environmental risks. The construction of the new capital involves clearing large swaths of forest, threatening the habitats of endangered species like orangutans and sun bears. This could lead to a decline in biodiversity. The degradation of Borneo's natural ecosystems may negatively impact the water cycle, soil fertility, and carbon storage capacity. The destruction of forests contributes to increased greenhouse gas emissions and worsens climate change. The construction of the seawall could also alter water currents and tidal movements, potentially degrading water quality and causing sediment buildup. Such changes may harm marine life and affect local fisheries. Moreover, the project has already begun to devastate the lives of traditional fishing communities, with entire neighborhoods being demolished and residents relocated more than 10 miles away. So, is there an alternative path for Jakarta? Tokyo faced a similar problem in the 1960s and managed to solve it by providing piped water. Cities like Shanghai and Bangkok have also tackled comparable challenges. Perhaps there are simpler yet effective solutions like this one for Jakarta. What do you think? We're curious to hear your thoughts on this. Can these mega projects really save Jakarta? Or should we be looking for different approaches? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts with us. See you in the next video.